Sweetie Pie, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about products that I forgot I bought. I've done one of these videos before and I really enjoyed it. It's more just to talk about some products that I have not used in a long time or that I bought pretty recently and then just put in my drawer after reviewing and never touched again. When you start reviewing makeup and you start doing videos and you start doing YouTube, sometimes you figure out that you got to scale back. So I am on a no-buy as I'm doing this video, but I still wanted to do it just to show you guys some things that I have not been using. And when I post this video, hopefully I can get it up this week, I will be using all these products. So make sure you check my Instagram. You are going to love my Instagram. I do a look of the day every day. If you watch my Shop My Stash, you can see how those products worked. Usually I do like brand new palettes and I go, and do 5 looks in a week, and then I do my review on them on the weekends. So if you think that's interesting, if you think you'll enjoy that, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let's get into this video. Guys, the very first 2 products that I'm going to talk about are my favorite products in the makeup world, and that is palettes. These 2 babies, I don't know what's going on. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Kat Von D Mini Metal Matte Palette. I thought this palette was really beautiful, but after I bought this palette, probably about 3 or 4 months after, I stopped doing a lot of neutral looks. It started to bore me a little bit. I have been into color like for the last 2 months. I don't know if it's summer. I don't know if it's just because I am bored of, brown eyeshadows. But after I reviewed this, I think I wore it for about 2 weeks, and then I put it in my palette drawers and it got lost in there. As well as palettes are a lot of what I like to review on my channel, as well as palettes are my favorite thing. So I have a lot of them. But oh man, the shimmers, or her, what does she call these? She has a special name for these eyeshadows. Metal Crush. Yes, I think they're the Metal Crush eyeshadows. And they are so buttery and beautiful. Did I just swatch the same one twice? I think I did. Melissa, come on now. So, maybe I didn't. You know what? Wow. So, Dose, and, was it Synergy? No, it wasn't Synergy. Yes, I did swatch the same one twice. So there are the shimmers. You've got like a beautiful gold called Flash. I didn't actually... Thunderstruck is her most prominent, and it's what most people say it makes a absolutely fantastic highlight. I can see that, but they're so beautiful. The mattes are great. The only thing that I have a problem with, and I'm not sure if I said this in my my review, but this yellow, it doesn't really amount to everything. And then like Bone and Suede, I don't think you needed both of them. I love Bone for like an all over the upper lid area and into the crease so that you can blend out shadows really well. But I can't wait, and I hope and I pray that she brings out another one of these, but in the colorful version, because I've always wanted the Metal Matte. That was like the one that got away. And yeah, I would love the colorful version, but I have not used this at all, and I'm going to put all of these products in my Shop My Stash for this week so that I can use them again and find the love that I had for them. I don't think I had a lot of bad things to say about any of these products, but I will go through that, of course. Anyway, the next one is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk Palette. Now, my husband actually purchased this for me for my birthday. This is an $85 palette in Canadian, and it is beautiful. Some of the colors are so freaking gorgeous, and you have like 3 duochrome shadows that just take your socks off. And I love Huda Beauty's her formula for her shadows. It's very, like, if you've used cornstarch shadows, they're a lot different from talc shadows in the way of, I find that the blending is just so much more seamless, especially if you put a base down, which they have desert sand in this palette, which makes an amazing base. I also think that the shimmers do need to be put on with like a little bit of spritz of water or some glitter glue, and then they have this absolutely fantastic glitter called Cosmo. It is a red yellow, green glitter. They've packed this with so many beautiful dimensions. I was really happy with this palette, but I do want to use it some more. It is pretty much one of my most expensive palettes in my collection, and because I think it was bought like beginning of last year, or like in the, no, I guess it was probably near the end of last year, when a lot of the palettes and all the Christmas stuff was coming out. I couldn't give it as much love as I think it deserved. Another palette, but it happens to be a highlighter palette, is the Becca Ocean Jewels highlighting palette. This was limited edition this year. It could have been last year. And it has holographic, well, not holographic, they are like kind of duochrome, colorful type of highlighters. I did a full review on pretty much all of these products, so just search that up on my channel and you will find it. These highlighters are really thin in consistency. The powder itself is very thin. They are really pretty. Some of them were a bit chalky, and I would not recommend this probably for someone with darker tones, just because they're very light in, the pan. I'm just gonna swatch. Let's roll up the arm. So there, those are right there. Very reflective, but I found that the powder was so finely milled, and that could be a good thing, and it kind of could be not a bad thing, but just a weird thing. If you're not used to that in a highlighter, if you're really looking for that super metallic highlighter, those are a little bit more subdued. Alright, those next three things are kind of just like face products. The first one is The Ordinary. This is their high adherence silicone primer. I can't remember if I put this in a video or not, but I don't have a lot to say about this primer, because every time I used it, I used it for one day, and then, I wouldn't use it the next day. And I feel like now that I'm doing Shop My Stash, I'm really, really getting a good vibe for products, because I'm kind of mixing and matching them. That gives me such a good idea of what I like and what I don't, when before it was a little bit harder to gauge, just because I was using so much different stuff. I was sitting right at my desk to do my my makeup every morning, and I was just grabbing different things every day. Another thing that I really enjoy is the e.l.f. Illuminator. This can be a little bit greasy, but when you mix it in with your foundation, especially if you have like either one, a really high coverage foundation, or two, you really want that glowy skin with like a tinted moisturizer, I just find it makes everything shine, and it makes everything go on the face really nicely. It's more hydrating. I do find that sometimes if I'm, going to work and I know I'm gonna sweat, I do have to powder a little bit, but I still love it, and I still want to use it tomorrow, and I haven't used it for like 2 months. I don't want it to go gross on me. I don't know how long the shelf life is, because e.l.f. never puts anything on their packaging. Nothing. Alright, the last, no, I've got a powder highlight as well that's just a compact, but this is the Hello Halo Liquid Highlighter. I didn't buy this very long ago, but right after I did my review, I just it sat there. So, and it's so pretty. Like, oh my gosh, it has this big, huge doe foot applicator. Now, mind you, I like to put this on with a sponge right after I put my foundation on, and it goes under my powder. I just don't powder quite as much in the area for my highlight, but as you see, bam, it's so pinky and beautiful. It was like $5. It was so cheap. I was really happy with this. Now, speaking of cheap, these are the LA Colors pressed powders. This one is in beige. You can buy these from your dollar store. This used to be my absolute favorite setting powder. It's more like a foundation powder than like a setting powder. It's for times you want coverage. And if you know me very well, I do have acne, and sometimes it's extremely hard to cover. So I love to take a powder puff, get it in there, and then just pat it all over my face, and then do powder, blush, and bronzer and highlight. It's good. but I've been using so many powders that I forgot I had this in my drawer. So I'm going to give this a try this week as well. I know it's going to go over well because this is one of my favorite powders that are super on the cheap. LA Colors did it well. It's not patchy. It's not too powdery. You can always, you know, like I always put setting spray or something on my face anyway. So it gives you some coverage if that's what you're looking for. So a concealer that I actually have is the Anastasia concealer. This is in 0.175, and this is their pot concealer. Now I have used a lot of this, but for the last 6 months I just kind of put it down and I never picked it back up again. I have been so like trying to get my my concealers from my Project Pan done that I have forgotten the love of my life. This is super high coverage. It's very emollient. You do want to be careful with that if you're not really into like really emollient concealers that you have to powder. Be aware. Don't put too much on or it will crease. And I do have creasy eyelids, so you know, I know about that. Alright guys, so the last two products I have are both from Physicians Formula, and they're kind of in the same group. It is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. This one is just light bronzer. Oh goodness, I still had the paper in the back and it scared the crap out of me. So this is the... Ooh, it does smell pretty good, but if you catch me on a morning that I'm like not in a good mood or like not feeling that well, it's kind of overpowering. But it does look like this. And this is a perfect, oh, can you see that? It's right here. It is a perfect one between the Hoola Light and like, you know, a medium bronzer, like the Hoola Light and the Hoola, the normal Hoola. It's right in between those. And I just find that this is the easiest thing to bronze with, especially in the summer when you don't want to sweat and get that demarcation line. This is beautiful. It's not going to sweat off your face and make you look silly. And then another thing that I bought pretty recently was the Butter Highlight. Now, if I can remember, I think this might have had a little bit of glitter in it. And maybe, oh, the texture is so cool though. It's just like ColourPop. It's literally the texture when you put your finger into it is just like ColourPop. And here is a swatch. Doesn't really look glittery. The swatch is like right there. And it is so, so pretty. I remember liking it quite a bit, but I just can't remember if it had glitter in it or not. I'm going to use it this week. We'll see about that. Having my window right in front of my camera sometimes cannot be always good. But yeah, guys, I think that is everything I had to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. All of this stuff is going to be used this week on my Instagram, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope my voice doesn't sound like it's going to crack, because somehow it does. But yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Alright, I love you guys so much. Subscribe to my channel. Click one of the videos that are coming up right here, or click on the little circle to be subscribed. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye!